Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. So, part two, Carly versus Nina. Now, there's not really much to sit there and say from yesterday's video. Here's the thing about Carly and Nina. I don't think the stage was ever really set to make Nina actually look like what she was seen as right in any manner, especially this episode, right? Because Carly laid down some facts, right, about her daughter, especially Drew. Drew laid down some facts about her daughter as far as like her not really loving her daughter so much as far as loving the idea. I mean, I think that might have changed over time, but in the beginning, when she was mad about a lot of stuff, she did sit there and say, "Oh, my daughter this, my daughter that." And this was the same daughter that before you knew, you treated her like garbage, right? Nina also came in with some facts as well. And this is the thing, because I'm a Carly fan, right? But this is the thing though. As a Carly fan, I can admit that she brung this on herself. Drew going to jail. She should have went to jail. You did sit there and commit the crime, okay? It was stupid of you to do that. She kept saying, well, I did it to help out Michael and Drew. Okay, but Michael and Drew told you not to do it, and you did it anyway. And actions do have consequences. So while she's upset about the outcome that wound up happening, she lost a lot of money, she lost her hotel, Drew nearly got killed. You did bring that on yourself. Point blank, period. And in a lot of ways, Nina was right. You set that in motion. Listen, you can come up with 100 different excuses of why she didn't sit there and tell Nina that Willow was her daughter. And they all don't matter. Because you didn't do it. You were wrong for sitting there keeping that from her. She was at the brink of death before you decide to sit there and say something. And so she wanted revenge. I mean, hell, it's not like Carly didn't sit there and want revenge. Hell, she blew in the town and sit there and get revenge on something that she felt like she was wrong out of Bobby. So let's not sit there and try to act like Nina's the only person that wanted revenge, regardless if you think she was in the right or wrong. She wanted revenge. But this whole argument, this whole back and forth, isn't set up to make Nina look like she has some valid concerns. Because at the end of the day, Carly lost her mom. Right? So, and granted, this isn't the first time that it's set up to make Carly look like she is the right one and Nina is the wrong one. But this argument is a back and forth, and they both have valid points. But because Carly's mom died, now she feels like garbage, and she feels like, oh, you know what? Damn, I came in here at the wrong time. She didn't know that, but it doesn't matter because optics wise, because of what happened, also she looks like the bad guy. Drew. That's the thing about Drew. Drew came up in her face and was like, well, because you're not a man, I can't sit there and do that stuff. Right? But here's the thing, Drew. You still committed the crime. And you went to jail for Carly. You chose Carly over your own kids, your own child. So why you sitting there bad mouthing her about her not being mother of the year? Do you really sit there and think you're that much better? Yeah, he has a right to sit there and be angry because, he did get an ass whooping. Now, granted, that was also kind of brought on by himself. He started sitting up there sticking his nose in places where he should just kind of just kept his head down, did his time, and he would have been fine for the most part. So you're sitting up there blaming Nina for you putting yourself in jail, you taking a rap for Carly, and you sticking your nose in everyone's business, and then you have the audacity to sit there and say, "Oh, you took me away from my kids." No, you took yourself away from your kids because you chose your child. You chose Carly over your own child. Like, are you kidding me? No. He had some points. I'm not going to sit there and say he didn't, but he was also wrong in a lot of ways as well. Now, Sonny, Sonny and Cyrus. Oh man, Cyrus it wasn't a good day to sit there and be messing with Sonny. I mean, I don't think any day is a good day to mess with Sonny, but this particular day was not. And then he found out that Cyrus knew about Nina's secret, about the SCC thing, and he beat the living hell out of him. Considering that Cyrus did sit there and try to kill his family at one point, I mean, I'm surprised he did in the church, but I mean, hell, I'm surprised. I don't understand. I'm just gonna let that go. And I'm talking about the disappointment when Nina found out the truth and she just didn't even really raise her voice at Carly. Let's just move on. So Willow finds out, part two of Willow versus Michael and her knowing the truth and her finding out that Michael was blackmailing Nina and how much time she spent with her. She was pissed off because she was like, again, you're underestimating me. If you actually cared, you would have told me the truth and let me decide. Now, she does own up to the fact that, we're not on the same page because I did lie to you about the cancer part. She does own up to that, and I'm glad. Then she did sit there and say something out of pocket. I'm not going to lie. This was after she was like, I need my own space. Cool. Michael was like, all right, well, let's go back to the house or whatever. And then she was like, you need to find somewhere else to sleep. I'm sorry, what? See, here's the thing. I'm on her side for the majority of this argument because he does have valid concerns. And, granted, it wasn't stuff that she wasn't there saying yesterday. But he needs to go somewhere else in his family home. Uh, Listen, I'm in a relationship with someone and they tell me, oh, I need to sleep somewhere else. I need to sleep on the couch. I'm gonna look at her like she lost her goddamn mind. It will be a cold day in hell before I ever actually leave the place that I'm paying for. So I felt like she was completely out of pocket on that. But I get it. It's a soap opera. It's a woman's fantasy and yada, yada, yada. But I'm telling you, ladies, right now, okay? Just because that ish played out on a soap opera, and that's how it used to be back in the day, man would sit there and sleep on the couch and he would wake up with back problems. Sweethearts, it is 2024. Yeah, that shit ain't happening. Just to put that out there. But of course, he gets a call from Drew telling him to come to the house. And Adam is drunk. He's still having his issues with his parents, stressing them out, up until the point where they're like, we're going to pull him out of PCU and put him in community college because we feel we're not, you're just wasting our money. So, she spent there trying to deal with him and, Dex is there too. And I know there's a part of Dex that's just like, really? Like, I mean, I know there's a part of him that felt like it was an inconvenience. I mean, I give him his props because he was just there, but I know he felt like he was inconvenienced by the whole thing. But of course, she gets a call from Drew, so she heads out, and Dex is there to sit there and kind of give him some sage advice, and just to tell him that things will get better. He had a crappy life too. They get to the house, they find out about Bobby's death. She passed in her sleep. So, they're distraught. Now, Nicholas is Snitty trying to get. No, you know what? No. Before I even get to Nicholas, Esme get to the Esme gets to, I guess, this the place where Laura and Kevin are, because they're concerned about what Esme is, because the babysitter's like, she's supposed to be here like an hour ago, so was good. She gets there, she sits down. Laura realizes that she's missing a red glove, and she calls her out. She's like, "Oh, you broke into Windermere." And then Laura's like, "You need to turn yourself in." I'm like, "I'm sorry, what? Why?" Because it's the right thing to do. I'm sorry, Laura. Did you used to always sit and do the right thing back in your younger years? Why does she need to do that for? Oh, you only get a little jail time and community service. It's not the point. I'm just like, really, Laura? She needs to sit there and turn herself in. What for? A good example? Damn, she really shouldn't actually came there. So I was just like, she really doesn't. I know. It's a crime. So what? It's not like she didn't commit murder. So let's just take that down a couple of notches. Meanwhile, you got Nicholas that's you're trying to convince Esme to trying to convince Ava to get Esme, to do something to shut her down. Not kill her, but to get some payback or whatever. Ava doesn't exactly say no. But she's not like jumping to it, but I don't remember her just saying no. No, never mind. She said she didn't want to work with him. But I think that she might change her mind. She gets back to the house. She sees Sonny with a bottle and bloody hand. And Nina comes back to the house, and Ava's like, "Yeah, you don't want to be here right now. It's not a good idea." And Sonny gets to the door, and Nina's like, "Oh well, I told him the truth." And Sonny slams the door in her face, and I was just like, "Okay, goddamn." Don't get me wrong. I'm not just saying that he doesn't have a right to be angry. Yes, he definitely does. She turned in the mother of his kids. But I'm not gonna lie, there was a part of me that was just like, Nina, you sure you actually want to be with this guy? Because what you did was wrong, but this dude has bodies and bodies and bodies and bodies on him. Okay, let's not sit there and try to act like you haven't done your dirt either. And I don't know, just slamming the door, it just seems like a level of disrespect. It's like, you sure about this guy? And I like Sonny, but you sure about this guy? Um, I think the weakest part was probably Portia and Curtis. They're celebrating a New Year's Eve on New Year's Day or whatever. He's worried about the surgery if it doesn't work. She snitches saying, "I'm going to love you anyway." Very cliche, which, I know it's true, but it's like, it's not like she was going to be like, "I don't really know. If this thing doesn't work out." It's like, you kind of knew the direction of the conversation. Now, Curtis did want to call in Laura because, the hospital found Cyrus unconscious. Unconscious. And you see in the previews, he does wake up, and Drew is there upset with Sam for making the decision without involving him. And while I do understand a little bit of his anger, She's been the primary caregiver of Scout when you weren't there. And not just the times you couldn't be there, but the times that you chose, oh, you know what? Let me sit there and go to jail for Carly. And you really think that, I don't know, like part of me is like, I always, hmm, like I don't want to sit there and make this a battle of the sexist thing because I do feel that men do have rights when it comes to their children. So I understand where his anger is coming in from. But I also don't think it's that big of a deal though. Like I don't understand why he's that angry. It's like your daughter said that she didn't want to go, so she shouldn't have to go. Like why are you sitting there making this? I feel like this is a bigger deal than it needs to be. It's not like her daughter was confused or his daughter was confused. She literally said, "I don't want to go there." Case closed. What's the problem? I feel like that's about it. Oh yeah, I forgot to then say Kevin was there. I feel like that's pretty much about it. I can't really think of anything else that wound up happening, but if I didn't miss anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Born and Beautiful, Young and the Restless. If you are not a member, make sure you hit the click the join button in the description box below. And I'm actually going to sit there and do the member shout out. I didn't forget about that. So that video is going to be coming. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.